What's up, everybody? Your boy Melv here for another classic review. Today I'll be talking about my thoughts on another Japanese horror film. This one more basically on a story from Chinese folklore and been passed down from Buddhism. Mostly on karma for some reason. This film, which is quite popular, which is no it's called Botan Doro, or The Peony Lantern. Released back in 1968, and this is a film which there's quite a little information about this film. But the story, it's quite long if you ask me. It goes all the way back to the 17th century, translated from the book of Chinese ghost stories called Jianding Jinghua, or New Tales Under the Lamplight, by Gu Yu, which the collection was dedicated in nature, contained Buddhist moral lessons on karma. Yeah. And before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, you try to find yourself a woman? Make sure that she's not a ghost, because if she is, well, either way, you're fucked. Because she's gonna suck the life out of you until you're dead. So what is the Peony Lantern? First we have to learn its true origins, since what is the Peony Lantern? Well, you gotta learn the original one before we heard of the movie. So we have to go to there have been many versions. We have the Otogi Boko version, the Kabuki version, and we got the movie as well. Let's start with the Otogi Boko version. On the first night of the Obon Festival, a beautiful woman and a young girl holding a peony lantern stroll by the house of a widowed samurai, Ogiwara Shinojo. Ogiwara is instantly smitten with the woman named Otsuyu and vows a eternal relationship. From that night onward, the woman and the girl visit at dusk, always leaving before dawn. An elderly neighbor, suspicious of the girl, peeks into his home and finds Ogiwara in bed with a skeleton. Consulting a Buddhist priest, Ogiwara finds that he is in danger unless he can resist the woman, and he places protection charms on his house. The woman is unable to enter his house, but calls him from outside. Finally, unable to resist, Ogiwara goes out to greet her and is led back to her house, a grave in a temple. In the morning, Ogiwara's dead body is found intertwined with the woman's skeleton. Ain't that freaky? As for the Kabuki, this is the Kabuki play version. A young student named Saburo falls in love with a beautiful woman named Otsuyu, the daughter of his father's best friend. They meet secretly and promise to be married. However, Saburo falls ill and is unable to see Otsuyu for a long time. Later, when Saburo recovers and goes to see his love, he is told that Otsuyu has died. He prays for her spirit during the Obon festival and is surprised to hear the approaching footsteps of two women. When he sees them, they look remarkably like Otsuyu and her maid. It is revealed that her aunt, who opposed the marriage, spread the rumor that Otsuyu had died and told Otsuyu in turn that Saburo had died. The two lovers reunited, spread the rumor that Otsuyu had died. Sorry. The two lovers, reunited, began their relationship again in secret. Each night, Otsuyu, accompanied by her maid, who carries a Peony Lantern, spends the night with Saburo. This continues blissfully until one night a servant peeks through a hole in the wall of Saburo's bedroom, which, damn, people don't have no privacy, don't they? They're just curious what's going on in everybody's business, huh? Just want a little quick fuck. That's what? Action. They see them having sex with a decaying skeleton, while another skeleton sits in the doorway holding a Peony Lantern. He reports this to the local Buddhist priest, who locates the grave of Otsuyu and her maid, taking Saburo there. He convinces him of the truth and agrees to help Saburo guard his house against the spirits. The priest places a fuda around the house, which is a charm, to ward off spirits, and prays the ninbutsu every night. The plan works, and Otsuyu and her maid are able to enter, although they come every night and call out their love to Saburo. Penning for his sweetheart, Saburo's health begins to deteriorate. Saburo's servants, afraid that he will die from heartbreak and leave them without work, remove the ofura from the house. Otsuyu enters and again has sex with Saburo. In the morning, the servants find Saburo dead, his body entwined with Otsuyu's skeleton with a blissful expression on his face. There is a difference, though. The main difference between these two versions are the changing of the human lover from Ogigara Shinojo, an elderly widower, to Saburo, a young student, and the establishment of pre-existing lovers' relationship between Otsuyu and Saburo, where Otogi Boko version was written during the isolated Edo period. The Rakugo and Kabuki version were written after the Meiji Restoration and was influenced by the flood of Western literature and theater that accompanied the modernization of Japan. One of these influences was added a romantic element to the story, something that was played down in older kaiden. The Otogi Boko version made no mention of Osuyu's death, but the Rakugo and Kabuki version created an idea of Otsuyu and Saburo's love being stronger than death, and emphasized Saburo's peaceful experience when his body is found entwined with the skeleton. As for influence and references, Botandoro established the theme of sexual encounter with the ghost of a woman as a central aspect of the story, a theme which would later go on to influence a number of later kaiden. If you don't know what it is, kaiden means ghost story. This theme follows the standard pattern of a no theater, no as in NOH, Katsura Mono play, where the female ghost hides her spectral nature until the final reveal at the end of the story. The nature of the ghost returns to Earth is either a lingering love or a general loneliness. The Otogi Boko version of Botandoro has no prior relationship, and Otsuyu merely wishes for a companion in the afterlife. The Rakugo and Kabuki versions, however, have Otsuyu returning for her former lover. The sexual ghost can be found in Kiyoka Izumi's story Maya Kakushi Nore, a quiet obsession, which is the translation, which features a sensual encounter with a female ghost in an onsen. Botandoro is famous for its onomatopoeia, koran koron, which is the sound of Osuyu's wooden clogs announcing her appearance on stage. As for the film version, in 1968, there were others before that. Botondoro is one of the first Japanese ghost stories to be put in film, with a silent version in 1910. 6 further adaptations were made between 1911 and 1937. Although these versions were lost to time, only the titles are still known. It is the second only to Yotsuya Kaiden in film adaptations, with a new version released every decade as either cinematic release or direct-to-video release or television release. Sorry, the most notable one is the one we're doing. It's the 1968 version, filmed for Dice Studios. Handmade titles, various known as The Bride from Hell, The Haunted Lantern, Ghost Beauty, My Bride is a Ghost, Bride from Hades, or Peony Lanterns. Yamamoto film roughly follows Otogi Boko version of the story, establishing protagonist Hagiwara Shinzaburo as a teacher who flees an unwanted marriage from his brother's widow and lives quietly some distance from his family. You see, he's a family from a well-known samurai family that his brother passed away and his father wants him to marry his wife, his brother's widowed wife, so they can retain notoriety in the family. Since he refuses, he's the only known teacher in a small village, which actually cares. During the Ebon festival, he carries 2 women with a peony lantern, which, due to his kind gesture, helps with their lantern. And you know where this is going. But there's some characters. 2, to be more precise. Sorry. Which has karma into it as well. What I want to say, the unusual account of Osuyu's follows, although the inevitable consequence is treated as a happy ending. Well, there's actually 2. There's another person, more like a comic relief, I don't know, of an apprentice, including his wife, trying to be greedy, trying to bribe the ghost to not help. Which, of course, they end up getting murdered when they found the gold they found the ghost give them was actually hidden stash from thieves, and they get murdered. Now that is just whack. Of course, it's a usual counter as Otsuyu follows, although the inevitable consequences treated as a happy ending. Or, at worst, bittersweet, since they are united beyond the grave, if not in life. There's another one, the 1972 version, directed by Chusei Sone, made a pink film version of Nikatsu's Roman porno series, entitled Hellish Love, or Saidan Bodandoro. Following Rakugo and Kabuki version, Hellish Love places emphasis on the sexual nature of the relationship between the protagonist and Otsuyu. Oh boy. Otsuyu is killed by her father, who disapproves the match with such a lowly samurai, but she promises to return on Owen to be reunited with her lover. A massive change in the story is made in the Masaru Tsushima 1996 film Otsuyu Kaiden Bodan Doro, or Haunted Lantern. This version has Shinzaburo dreaming of a past life where he is promised a double suicide with Otsuyu but fails to kill himself after she dies. In his present life, he meets a girl named Suya who is the reincarnation of his past lover. But Shinsaburo's father arranges a marriage for him with his sister Susu. Shinsaburo's friend attempts to rape Suya so that she would stop being a nuisance, jealous by her younger sister. Devastated, the two sisters commit suicide together. The usual consequence follows, but the film ends with Shinsaburo and Suya further reincarnated together, living happily in the future life. Bloody hell. As for the 1968 version, I kind of like it. It sticks to, it's kind of like a mix of the two versions, except the ending where, oh yeah, you have the ending where he dies. He's in the hands of the skeleton woman. But yeah, one half you have these greedy couple, who are the ones who actually let the spirits in by ripping the charm off the door that protects him for the gold, and they bought what they sold, and they get murdered for their greed. But yeah, folks, those are my thoughts on the film and the history behind it, the Peony Lantern. And let me know what you think of this film. I recommend checking out the other two films, The Hellish Love and Haunted, to make sure it's correct. The one I was talking about, the 1968 one, The Haunted Lantern. No, The Peony Lantern. And check out the other two, Hellish Love, which is from 1972, and the 1996 one, Otsuyu Kaiden Botan Doro, or Haunted Lantern. I recommend checking those three out. And if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe, hit the bell, like this video, and remember we're aiming at our goal of 1 million subscribers, or at least 500k, because by next month is our 11th anniversary, so let's do this. Until then, have a great day, everybody. And also, if you're in dating, make sure the one you're dating is alive and not ghost, because if you want to end up like him, well, either way, it'll freak you out. But, see you next time. Peace out.